Hey everyone, welcome back to me and MS. My name is Michael. This week I want to talk about something that we're all currently dealing with, which is the heat. It is hot out there, but if you have MS, it can often feel like the next level of things, like a lot of annoyances in life. So I kind of wanted to talk about, just how we deal with it or how I deal with it and how it affects me and how I cope and all that good stuff. This isn't necessarily a prescriptive video. I often get annoyed just reading those articles about MS and heat, and there's tips of, pretty basic tips of drink cold water, stay indoors. Yeah, I mean, because there's really not too much anyone can really do with it other than that. So I mean, that's mostly what I'm probably going to say here too. Uh, but yeah, it's a quick background. 60 to 80% of MSers have heat sensitivity, and it's such a common symptom of MS that in the early 19th and 20th centuries, one of the diagnostic exams being immersed in hot bath water of 105 to 110 degrees, and doctors would observe if neurological symptoms presented themselves. Uh, yeah, that would make it happen. For me, I do enjoy a hot shower, but in the summertime, I have to limit them. Oh, look who it is. This is Grace. She just joined us and now joining the channel. Um, but yeah, back to how heat affects me. Humidity is especially bad. It really, when I go outside, when the dew point hits more than 70 or so, it's harder for me to stand and transfer into the car from my chair. My hands really start to seize up, and I can't grab onto the door handles to help me up very easily sometimes. Um, so the humidity is especially bad. Also, prolonged direct sunlight is bad. It's weird. I kind of noticed just having that direct sun. I want to find more researcher, or I hope people do more research about just the effects of actual direct sunlight on MSers and how that affects you, rather than just the radiant heat. Because I noticed just if I'm out in direct sunlight and not moving, it really just gives me brain fog and makes me feel wavy, and definitely have to get inside. AC is my friend. I can immediately walk into rooms and notice just if it's temperature controlled or not, and that's without of it being in the middle of the summer. Just I am constantly looking at my Nest thermostat on my phone to make sure I am comfortable and that I can operate as best I can. Um, with that, with the direct sunlight, I kind of describe myself often as a vampire. It doesn't mean I want to stay up all night and all that, but I tend to operate the best later in the evening when it's dark and cool. I can stand up a lot faster. Uh, I can. That's when I do exercise of walking with my walker, and just generally I can physically do things a lot easier without that direct sunlight. Um, Also, with the direct sunlight, my office is in the direct sun for about half the day. So, looking at the time, I'm probably about an hour or so before I have to move into the other side of the house, into the family room, because otherwise it's just really going to make it difficult to get up from my office chair. Just again, the direct sun on me. So, how I cope with all of this, the late mid July to about mid August is always especially bad. And I live in Charleston, South Carolina, which is horrible for this, about 3 months out of the year. So I am very much looking forward to our trip to North Carolina mountains later this week. The last couple of years, we've done some days in the mountains as a break, to escape it. My dream is to live in Charleston for 9 months out of the year, and summer in Vermont, or something, or in the Carolina mountains up, where it is less humid and intensive, and a little cooler. It just would be a great way to live, but we can't all do that. So in the meantime, the summer I often describe it as my hibernation months. Folks don't like to go out in the winter. I'm better with the cold than the heat. Cold's not perfect. I say my best operating temperature outside is between about 50 and 80 degrees. But in Charleston, outside of the high heat and high humidity ones, it's a great place to live for the rest of the year, temperature wise. On a day to day level, though, I limit my activity outside during the height of the day. If you got to get out and go somewhere, then I do it. But I don't spend a lot of extra time waiting in the sun during those times to make sure I have all the energy I can for the times I do have to move around more. I also time out my when I take showers. I usually take them in the morning or later at night when again it's cooler and I'm operating better. You know, I also for when I do go outside and if I am having to be outside in the day in a little prolonged period. My wife actually picked this up last summer, and I thought it was a little hokey at first, but it's a neck portable air conditioner. And this thing actually is, it really does help. Like I said, I do best just feeling the AC on me or a breeze or just air moving. I am very attuned to all that. So having this around your neck and having cool air pumping up to your faces and on the sides of your neck actually is pretty effective. I think she found this at a CVS or something like this. So, I would just go on the internet and search portable air conditioner and see what comes up. Outside of all of that, I don't think there's too much else MSers can do other than the general tips of staying inside, drinking fluids, and staying cool. But in my research for this week, I did find a interesting article in the MS Society's Momentum magazine talking about a guy who was living down here in Augusta, Georgia, and transferred to Cincinnati, Ohio, for a little bit of a cooler climate. But in that, they made the point to ask your doctor about your medications. Apparently, he switched from Rebif to Copaxone. I guess beta interferons. Research has shown that may temporarily increase body temperature for about 6 hours after injection. So, really that is a kind of day-to-day thing, or a more immediate effect of it. But also the secondary medications you may be on, check if they have a warning about direct sun may increase side effects or anything like that. Apparently, but yeah, like a lot of things with MS and heat, there is no easy answer, but there are ways to cope. And I hope this gives you some insight of how I've tried to deal with it and make the best of it, and hope you can too. Have a good week. Stay cool. Stay inside. And we'll be into October, November soon enough. Later.